It all starts innocent enough. A shopper comes across a modest item, a bottle of body wash perhaps, and instead of paying the full price, they opt to break the cost into 4 manageable payments. Maybe $81 sounds more palatable when divided into 4 chunks. It's not luxury, but it feels luxurious, like wielding a black American Express. Easy, instant, empowering. But underneath the surface of this consumer convenience lies a multi-billion-dollar psychological system meticulously engineered to do one thing: get people to spend money they don't have, often on things they don't need. Welcome to the world of buy now, pay later. In 2024, the total non-housing consumer debt in the United States exceeds $5 trillion. To put that into perspective, that's enough money to buy every team in the NFL, NBA, and MLB. 10 times over. What's driving this mountain of debt? Once often overlooked as a contributor is the explosive rise of BNPL services like Afterpay, Klarna, and Affirm. These platforms promise freedom. Split your payment into manageable installments, often interest-free, and shoppers, especially young adults, eat it up. But this is modern financial miracle truly liberating consumers, or is it quietly ensnaring them in an invisible web of compounding obligations? BNPL is exactly what it sounds like. When shopping online or even in some stores, consumers are given the option to purchase an item now but defer full payment. Typically, the cost is broken into 4 equal payments, often spaced over 2-week intervals. No interest, no hard credit checks, no barriers. Need a $300 suitcase for an upcoming trip? Just pay $75 now and worry about the rest later. Sounds like a great deal, but there is a catch, or several. To understand how BNPL came so popular, one has to rewind a few decades. Before credit cards came ubiquitous, stores like Sears and Kmart offered layaway plans. Shoppers could reserve an item, pay it off in installments, and collect it once the final payment was made. Then credit cards arrived, offering instant gratification, no need to wait, you can have your item now and pay later. Credit cards, however, came with a visible downside: interest. People learned often the hard way that failing to pay off the balance on time meant facing hefty fines and rapidly compounding debt. BNPL entered the market promising the best of both worlds: instant ownership and zero interest. This promise was so enticing that the BNPL industry exploded. In 2019, U.S. BNPL transactions totaled $2 billion. By 2021, that figure had ballooned to $24.2 billion. By 2025, it's projected to surpass $120 billion. This explosion didn't happen in a vacuum, though. 3 major cultural forces helped pave the way. 1. Financialization of everyday life. We now live in a world where everything is a financial transaction. A $5 coffee, you finance it. BNPL allows even the smallest purchase to feel manageable, making their cumulative impact masked. 2. The rise of social media-fueled consumerism. Influencers show off luxury lifestyles. BNPL offers a way for the average consumer to feel like they're part of that world, without the immediate financial hit. It democratizes excess. 3. The post-pandemic spending spree. After years of lockdown and sacrifice, consumers embraced revenge spending. BNPL became the perfect tool to indulge those desires without feeling irresponsible, at least not right away. If BNPL doesn't charge interest, though, why worry? Because beneath the interest-free facade lies a complex web of late fees, data harvesting, psychological manipulation, and systemic exploitation. Most BNPL plans are only interest-free if you pay on time. Miss a payment and you could face penalties ranging from a few dollars to 25% of the item's total value. And with 1 in 3 BNPL users missing a payment, these fees represent a massive revenue stream. Credit cards require credit checks and approval processes. BNPL approvals are near instant. That means people with little financial knowledge and often no steady income are more likely to get approved, spend more, and fall behind. BNPL companies have invested heavily in understanding how the human brain responds to financial systems. Their checkout designs are optimized not for financial clarity, but for impulsivity. 1. Pain of buying. When you pay in full, your brain registers the loss sharply. When payments are split, the pain is dulled. Suddenly, 100 feels like 25. That's not a budgeting trick, it's a psychological one. 2. Temporal discounting. Humans are wired for instant gratification. Getting the product today while paying later feels like a win, even if future you might disagree. 3. Artificial urgency. Limited time offers and countdown clocks are common at checkout. They make it feel like you'll miss out if you don't act now. 4. Design manipulation. Ever notice that BNPL option is often highlighted, colorful, or pre-selected? These aren't design quirks. They're calculated nudges to steal your decision. Contrary to popular belief, BNPL companies aren't doing this out of generosity. They built an empire on four main income streams. 1. Merchant fees. Brands pay BNPL platforms 4 to 6% of each transaction in exchange for higher conversion rates and average order values. 2. Late fees. A third of users miss payments, bringing in millions of late fees. 3. User data. BNPL collects valuable insight about shopping habits and sells this data to advertisers and retailers. 4. Loan packaging. These companies bundle consumer debt into financial instruments and sell them to bigger investors, just like mortgage-backed securities in '08. In short, these platforms profit whether you pay your time or not. Let's say you're buying a $1,000 iPhone. At checkout, you see three options. 1. Pay $1,000 upfront. Use a credit card at 22% APR, pay minimums, and the phone could cost you $1,480 over 5 years. Use Afterpay, pay $250 today and $250 every 2 weeks. Most people will choose option 3. It feels the cheapest, but this decision isn't just about money. It's about how the choice is framed. And brands know that. They built their checkout pages to guide you toward the most emotionally satisfying, not responsible option. At first, BNPL seems harmless, but increasingly people are using it for groceries, gas, or even DoorDash orders. Yes, you can finance a $15 burrito over 4 installments. Again, not necessarily disastrous in isolation, but if someone is financing lunch, they're probably financing a lot more. That's where loan stacking begins, taking out one BNPL loan after another, losing track of obligations, and eventually drowning in payment. In 2022, 63% of BNPL users had multiple loans going at once. Many were already in credit card debt. Nearly 70% of them had overlapping financial obligations. Even more concerning, 28% of BNPL users were between the ages of 18 and 24. This demographic often lacks basic financial literacy and is being targeted. BNPL isn't actually evil. In fact, when used correctly, it's a powerful tool. Some consumers use it to manage cash flow while investing their savings. Others leverage interest-free periods to avoid credit card interest. But the key rule is simple. Never spend more than you already have. If you don't have the cash in your bank, don't make the purchase, BNPL or not. Additionally, avoid stacking loans. One BNPL plan? Maybe. 5 at once? Dangerous. Treat BNPL like a debit card. Every payment should feel like money is coming out immediately, not 2 weeks from now. Don't use BNPL for recurring expenses. Financing groceries or gas can lead to a never-ending cycle of debt. The bottom line, BNPL companies have built an empire on the psychology of instant gratification and financial naivety. They promise convenience but offer compounding problems, and while they mark as interest-free, their true cost, late fees, and data selling can be far steeper.